everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden Night.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Los Angeles Rams and the Detroit Lions. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On first down, Stafford here. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the game's opening play and a quick first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
Back to throw. Stafford. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
To throw is Stafford. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
No gain on the play there. Second down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. That one goes for 24 yards. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
On second down, here's Stafford. It's complete. It's Sproles. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Mohamed Sanu with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Lions take it right down and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. If they keep doing that in the fourth quarter, that's when the knockout occurs.
Yeah, it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. They'll throw on first down with Lynch. And his first look is incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. They go play action with Lynch. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. And able to find Graham, complete. And all the way up to the 45-yard line. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. This seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that 1st down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the 1st down.
Flushed out right, and this is incomplete. He was looking to get it to Allen Hurns that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I know we're doing this game live, but let's step into the film room for just a second, because when they review this play, oh, the negatives are going to be incredible on this one. Rolling out to his right. Yeah, he's right-handed, so that's a natural spot for him. But he throws back across his body back into traffic.
Big no-no.
Oh, that's a monster no-no. The only good thing that happened, it fell incomplete. Very fortunate.
So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down. 4th down. Here's Lynch. And he's got it to Hurns. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 4th down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on 4th down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on 4th down here early in the game.
To throw again is Lynch. And left side here, it's Graham. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. Throwing again here, Lynch. Escaping the pressure right. And he's got it. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Once again, it's Lynch. Buying time to his left. Lynch fighting, and he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And this is going to be incomplete. A strong safety, Barry Church, all over that one and knocked it away.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that deep?
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky, but that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, You get that thing up, this should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way. How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and pressure advantage.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Myles Jack can just flat out cover. Doesn't matter who's out there, and he can do it really well in man. How about what he just did there in zone, though? Eyes in the right place, saw where the ball was going, reacted appropriately, and knocked it away.
Yeah, they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Again, they'll run it. Again, it's Sproles. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Throwing is Stafford. Giving it out left side to Sanu. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And here back onto the field comes Jimmy Graham. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far is allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the 1,000-yard mark. They don't have to force anything. But one of the reasons he's having the year he's having is what I call route-running arrogance. They think there's no one that can cover them. No matter how many people are put in his direction, it just doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to beat them. And so far this year, he's done exactly that.
He sure has. On 3rd down, Lynch eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
How many times do we hear that 3rd down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw.
Back live now to begin the 2nd quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going, and they've got it here with a 1st down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he rifles one incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's Lynch being chased, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Alex Okafor in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Now it's Lynch, and he finds Jimmy Graham. A very solid gain of 27.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Graham. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Throwing, Lynch. And he fires one incomplete.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
So 2 of 2 on third down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here. They'll set up the screen to Drake. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And will they call it a touchback? No, it's out at the 1-yard line. They were inches there from blowing a golden scoring opportunity.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Buck Allen, his first touchdown on the year. And the Rams are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage gap.
Will Fuller, nobody there to stop him. The 30, 10, touchdown, Detroit. Will Fuller with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions strike quickly here for 6 points.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And the Rams getting set to go now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards. They go play action here on first down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Off the play fake. Here's Lynch. Wide open receiver complete. 20, 10, and he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Allen Hurns, his first touchdown on the year. And the Rams are an extra point away from tying up this football game. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll begin the drive with Sproles. And he'll running right through it. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Another run. This time it's Ivory. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Here's Sproles. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Hey, I need one.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
And once again, they go with Sproles. And he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Now it's Sproles. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. They'll run it now out of the gun. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Stafford on 3rd down. And he's got Miller. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Ziggy Ansah in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. Trent Murphy, the one to bring him down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
A dump off for Ivory. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, and they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
2nd and 10 now. It's Lynch. Airing it out for her. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Nickel Roby-Coleman. Pushing through the contact. A second broken tackle. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. Really nice pick there for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And a good story on that. He said he didn't even know he won the award. His buddy had to call him. He saw on television and said, hey, congratulations. How about that?
And I'll bet you his buddy said, well, since you didn't know, I'll just go ahead and claim the award, right? And everything that goes along with it. But the reason he won the award the previous week and what we just saw there, instincts. Understanding where the play is going and being able to make a play on the football. It'll
be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big.
And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout. As the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. The Lions on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Stafford. He finds his target, Fuller. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Stafford now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. On first down, it's Stafford. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
The previous play is under review. After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. This one complete to Sproles. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And this is a guy who last week not only helped his real team, but really helped a lot of fantasy teams. 3 trips to pay dirt. They've got to contain it.
And watching him play is like going to lunch with you when you order that combo plate, right? In this case, his combo plate is he can go over the top of you and catch it in front, turn it into a big game, run past you, and then uses his size and his physical abilities to keep you away from the football. Hard to defend this guy.
Reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Again, it's Stafford. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number one. And just like that, on we head to half number two. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number three. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. They're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
Pass, offense.
So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
Lynch to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Lions will take over. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 24. Here's a handoff to Sproles to start the drive. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
To throw is Stafford. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Lee. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. Lee's got it over the middle. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence. And he's achieved that in this performance.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I'll just figure there's something wrong with the football.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
So instead of forcing the field goal, it'll be 1st and goal.
Yeah, the force was trying to make something happen that just didn't need to, right? I mean, the plays happen, let it go. It's over. Instead, he creates a penalty.
Stafford looks to throw again. And it's incomplete. He was looking for Zach Miller as tight end there. And it's 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Mohamed Sanu with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Lions add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll throw on 1st down with Lynch. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Anytime a ball is thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Hearns brings it in. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Here's Lynch to throw. Flexing his muscle at the 30. Looking middle, and that's complete. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through, picking up the 1st. Play action. It's Lynch on the move to his left. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Gilchrist. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Stafford over the middle. That's caught by Miller. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
And that's a nice gain by him on 1st down, picking up some key yardage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
They run with their short yardage man, Ivory. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Allen here on the screen. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's third down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. You know, the running back, because he's eager to get the pass. But sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that, and that's why they're able to get to him on it.
He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense, so you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Now Lynch on first down. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school, I can do this, until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same in many cases.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Third and long, it's Stafford. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it fourth down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Back now at Ford Field. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the fourth and final quarter. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Levante David in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And to the right side here, it's Allen. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. of the gun. Lynch. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up on Levante David. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? He's having to run with a running back or a tight end. In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. He hit his first, this one from 38. And Forbath will put this one through. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes it...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Marcus Gilchrist. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? You're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play, but when it doesn't work, oh, boy, you wish you hadn't.
And he'll get it down deep into Los Angeles territory. A big play there for Detroit. 45 yards. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. Because strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done. Sometime in this 4th quarter, someone on defense is going to have to step up and force a turnover.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Floating one, incomplete. Marquise Lee, the intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
They'll try to run it down to Sproles. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
And Forbath will put this one through, and that will swell the lead to 16. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Lynch looking to throw on second. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. you're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Flush to his right. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. They go play action here on first down. This one complete to Troy Fumagalli. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Now a play fake here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looks like Lynch fighting. He fumbles. He lost the football. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that one that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away.
Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. On second down, here's Stafford. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Fuller. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
They'll run it with Sproles. And a short gain here down to the 22. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
And Forbath will put this one through, and that will make this now a 19-point advantage. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do.
Pressure up the middle, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 2nd down, Lynch. And left side here, it's Graham. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
Now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 1st and 10, it's Lynch. He's going to fire one. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Levante David. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown. Chris Ivory off to the races. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And they'll go on the ground. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. 3rd down. Here's Ivory. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Stafford down to a knee, and with it, he's going to ensure his guys a victory.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Lions, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals.
Bring out the Brinks truck, I'm young flying